So we've had our kitchen highly simplified for over 8 years now, and what continues to surprise me is how I need to make adjustments with each new season that we head into. And so there had been some things in our kitchen that just weren't functioning well that I didn't like, and I had seen some different organization things that I wanted to try. But like I've shown you before, this is actually a process I did in our mentorship group. And in there, we really champion the phrase that 5 minutes matters. So each day we try to tackle small projects around our house. And I had made a pass through here with you all, I think it was last fall, yeah. And I decluttered a bunch of stuff out of here, and that really helped a lot. But there's just some areas that I need to go back, maybe reduce the inventory a little bit more, add in some organization. I have a lot of different organizing things I want to put in place or update or swap out or that kind of thing. Okay, so again, I am just gonna pick one space to focus on today, and that is this drawer here. So this is where we keep our tea and coffee pods. The problem is that I had gotten this beautiful tea holder and I really like it. The only problem is I don't actually drink tea that much. This is all the same tea that I put in here when I organized this drawer like a year ago. I thought if I could see it and it was accessible that I would drink tea more often. Turns out that that is not true. So the problem is we actually drink coffee. We make it 1 to 2 times a day. I still do my pour over later in the day, but first cup in the morning is just a coffee pod. And they have not fit in here very well because of my beautiful tea organizer. So today I want to tackle this. I have some new containers. I'm gonna get those out and then we're gonna see if we can make this space function a little bit better. This is also where I've started to become okay kind of making mistakes. Like in the past, I would have thought like, oh no, I spent like $20 on this tea organizer and like I just need to make it work because like I spent money on it. And then I had also tried to use some of these containers from Target. They did not fit this drawer at all, but I was like, they were inexpensive. I had some leftovers, like it's just what we're gonna use, right? And so it was fine for quite a while, it was fine. But now I do wanna go back and just try and make this drawer function a little bit better. And so, oh, and here, this is funny. Wow, these rocks have been in here for a year now. This was from the video where Diana and I made the resurrection cake, but I'm not gonna use these anymore, so I'm just gonna throw them away. I kept them because they were like $13, and so Diana was like, they're very expensive, like do something with them. I haven't, so these are just gonna get thrown away. And then like this silverware doesn't need to be in here. So these were the new containers that I got. But let's see what would work the best for coffee pods. So these are like 3 individual. I don't think I'm gonna use those. I was kind of thinking more like these. I do want to keep a little bit of tea in here. I want to keep this one and use it up. Diana gave me this for Christmas and I like it a lot. And then I also really like this one. And so I want to have spots for these 2, but then the whole actual tea organizer, I'm going to put in a different cabinet. So let's open this up. I am okay now investing in nicer containers because I have a trust level with myself, but in the beginning, I really like using like dollar store and inexpensive bins like these. But now I really have a good idea how I want this drawer to function. And so I was okay, these were just off Amazon. I don't even know, I think it was like $15 for the whole set. There's a ton of them in here. I'm sure I'm gonna have leftovers. And so again, I think your kitchen should serve you in your current season of life. And so as you're going through this, you're coming across any items that you're just not sure about, maybe you spent a good amount of money on them, then I would highly recommend that you use a time will tell bin. So just grab an Amazon box or a Rubbermaid tote and just toss stuff in that you're just not sure about. We don't want to get hung up on gadgets or appliances that we spent money on. And so throw it in the box, set the box aside in a basement, attic, garage, storage space for 3 to 6 months and just see if you miss the items or not. It's a great way to test drive a highly simplified kitchen without having the stress or worry of making a mistake when you're decluttering. Okay, this feels really good. I should mention too that these did come with little rubber things so that they don't slide around. I was able to make them all fit so that they shouldn't slide, but there are little feet for them too. I will probably still go back through and put these on, but this feels so much better. I have the coffee that we use the most, I have some teas, and then if I want to like refill some of these tea spots as I use them up, I still can do that from my bigger tea organizer. So it's not all lost, right? And then I do have some extra containers left over that I might use in the future for something else, but this is gonna function so much better. And I just wanna like open and close it and keep looking at it, right? So it took a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but mostly it was the puzzle trying to figure out how to make the containers fit. Now, one of the main reasons I'm always making adjustments to our kitchen, reorganizing it, decluttering it, making sure it functions really well, because it's really important to me that our kitchen stay tidy. And so a tidy kitchen is so much more enjoyable to cook in and much easier to keep clean. And this was actually a key idea from the book Atomic Habits, is seeing ourselves the way that we desire to be. And so today's video is sponsored by Blinkist, and Blinkist is a powerful app that allows you to understand the most important things from over 5,500 nonfiction books and podcasts in just 15 minutes. And so like I said, I was looking at Atomic Habits again because this has stuck with me. I read this book multiple years ago, and this key idea of seeing yourself as the type of person that you want to be. So when I see our kitchen is getting a little bit messy, in my head, I think, what would a tidy person do? And what a tidy person does is they pick up as they go. If they see something out of place, they grab it quick. And so it becomes this automated habit, and they make the connection similar to when you walk into a room and flip a light switch on. And so I'm so proud to say that now, over the last few years, I've been able to develop this habit too, where I don't even have to think about it. You see something on the floor, you just grab it. Or you call a child over to pick it up because it's theirs and they should get it off the floor, right? But it's automated, and that's what we want to do with our habits, right? So I highly recommend Atomic Habits, and Blinkist just came out with another really cool feature called Blinkist Spaces. This feature allows you to create a space with friends or family where you can add, share, and recommend titles from the Blinkist library. A space can be for a group of people or a topic like productivity or mindfulness. All members of a shared space can access all titles in the space with or without a Blinkist premium subscription. As a premium user, you can create multiple spaces with the same people or with new ones. You can now tap on invite to invite more people and start sharing title recommendations and exchanging ideas with them. Isn't that so cool? So get 25% off Blinkist annual premium. Start your 7-day free trial by clicking on our link, blinkist.com/theminimalmom. Thank you, Blinkist, for sponsoring today. Check out that link down below to subscribe. And now let's get back to organizing. This lower shelf here. So here's what's kind of happened over the last couple years. Our oldest, Adeline, she's 13 now. She is kind of in charge of the kitchen, and the other kids have different areas of the house, but she does a lot of the dishes. She also likes to cook and bake. And she also has the most privileges as far as like things she gets to be in and how much driving. And so it's working out well that she kind of is in charge of the kitchen, and then there's perks and benefits to that, right? But she ends up being the one that kind of runs the dishwasher a lot, does the dishes. And she had asked me, she had said like, these dishes are cute, but they do not function well. And so a little while back, I had the idea that I wanted everyone in our house to each have their own bowl and be in charge of washing it, and that's it. If it's dirty, like that's your own problem. It never really fully worked, but I also like pretty dishes. I didn't like when we just had all white and everything. Isn't that just so pretty? Like it just makes my heart happy when I look at it. But as you can tell, they don't stack up nicely. Some of them are kind of heavy. And then also like in the dishwasher, because they're not uniform, they don't fit nicely and neatly in the dishwasher. So she had actually asked me if we could swap them out, both the bowls and the cups and the plates too. Like I just love this. And I was a little bit reluctant because I think mostly because I don't want to be that minimalist that just has a stark and cold house and everything's white and all of that, right? But I did realize like this is such a high use area of our life, and it would be nice if it did function a little bit better. So I gave in and we went to Walmart, and invest is the right word. Invested in some Corral dishes. So we got the Corral bowls, 8 of them. 6 of them? 8. I think they only had 6 in stock. And then we got some plates. So we got the white dinner plates. I've already taken the labels off of these. And we did get 8 of these. So there's 6 in our family, and then it's very common for like Tom's dad to stay for dinner. And then you just need like 1 plate to put stuff on sometimes when you're cooking. The plates were, the dinner plates, $4.28 each. And then the bowls, what? I didn't think the bowls were, I didn't realize they were that much. The bowls were $5.54 each. I'm kind of second guessing this now. But you know, if you have Corral, you know they're lightweight. They're supposed to be like really durable. 3-year limited warranty under normal use. Not break, not chip. So like ideally we should have these for a very long time. I do know too you can get Corral with patterns, but we were at Walmart, they had it, so I decided that this was just what we're gonna go with. So I have the new plates and bowls and everything. Let's put them in place. And then also for cups, I had gotten these glasses because again, these are very heavy. They're Pioneer Women from Walmart. They're very heavy. And then these were plastic, but they have been cracking and breaking in the dishwasher, and they don't wash up nice anymore. This really bummed me out because I really liked these a lot. So these I'm gonna throw away, unfortunately. These I'm going to donate along with these. And then I do still have some glasses up way on top for when we have guests over way up there. So I have nice glasses. So that's why I don't need to keep like these green ones. I'm gonna let those go. It makes me, like, I'm not gonna lie, this makes me a little bit sad. Like it feels a little boring now. But again, right now we just need it to function really well. And so it is what it is. I'm gonna recycle this cup too. Okay, I have 8 of these glasses total, but some of them are in the dishwasher or they're out on the counter being used. So, you know, it's very boring, but yet for the season of life we're in, it actually feels kind of good. Because the other thing that would happen would be like little things like this. Oh. Little things like this. Like I would normally store this with the lid on, but like someone was just putting it back there because like the bowls were kind of big and covered it. And so nothing can really hide around it now. It's very easy to use everything and to put it back. It'll be all very easy to load into the dishwasher. So I miss the color a little bit, but this actually feels really good. So what I have decided to do, I'm gonna keep a couple of these and just put them in my kitchen bin downstairs. So I'm gonna keep this one. I love this one. And then also this one I think is really pretty. So I'm gonna keep those. And these other ones I had just gotten recently from a thrift store, I don't know, last fall. So I'm gonna donate those again, and then same with the plates. Isn't that just so pretty? I love the Pioneer Woman. I know I saw some people say like, I don't love everything Pioneer Woman. I love it. I love the colors. It goes with my kitchen. So I'm gonna keep some of these too. And then like I might even put, I don't know, should I just keep one out? I might keep one out. Just for like serving food on. I think that's okay. Anyway, so, but otherwise like this, I'm just gonna donate. So anyways, we're just gonna try that out, and I actually think it's gonna function really well. I don't know, it's kind of throwing me off now, seeing that deal under there. I don't know, I'll think about it. All right, so we're gonna be done with this shelf for now. Why don't let's move up to that one above. That wasn't actually on my list for this week, but I think it'd feel really good to get that taken care of as well. Hello, it is so good to see you today. We are gonna tackle this next shelf up. We got this done yesterday. I also did just wanna circle back, like I probably kind of made light of it yesterday, the things I was donating. These are really nice glasses. I bought this set of glasses, I think it was like $17. And so in the past, this would have been very hard for me to declutter because I'd be like, no, we need to use them and I need to find a way to use them. But the truth is they're very heavy, which makes them a pain to wash, and the kids don't love using them. And so they were continually getting passed over unless it was like the last glass available. And so I'm kind of over trying to make my lifestyle fit items. I want items that fit my lifestyle, right? So like these glasses, They're just a really nice weight. They're a nice size. The bottom's a little bit heavier so they don't tip easily, but yet the sides are light so they're not heavy. And they're just, I don't know, because of the shape, they're very easy to drink from. I don't know, whatever. But they're very nice. We've been using these for a while. I just put these in, and I will run these through the dishwasher before we actually use them, but these we have been using and really like. This is beautiful. I got it because I liked how it looked, right? But this is more functional, so this is what we're gonna use for now. Maybe someday I'll go back to beautiful, but for now, we're all about function. Okay, so this shelf, this got this way just from creep, like clutter creep, of stuff creeping in. And so we're gonna pare it down today. So I really like this little water bottle organizer. We use it for travel mugs. It works very well, and it creates a great limit for how much of those types of containers that we have. Now, the other thing, the kids got these from their piano teacher for Christmas, and they each have their name on it. Super cute. It was fun through the holiday season to use them for hot chocolate, but now they haven't really been getting used anymore. And so I'm gonna ask them each, they can either go in their bedroom if they wanna put pens in it or something like that, or do they wanna just like put it in their memory bin? All right, so we have those up here, which is making it very cluttered. This mug, I thought I donated this. Diana gave this to me at Christmas. It does not fit well. It was fun to use a couple times as like a novelty at Christmas. I don't want it in here anymore. I thought about even putting it in my Christmas bin, but like, I didn't like it that much. It doesn't hold very much, and I'm just gonna donate it and be done with it. And when she asks me, I will tell her. So we're gonna take down all these mugs. And then the other thing that has got a little out of control is our supplements here. I do like keeping them here because we're more likely to take them if they're here and accessible, and we use them. It's just, we never had a good solution for them. So I do have an acrylic bin I'm gonna grab too that we're gonna use for this. Okay, so we have two of these taller mugs. I like having these in here, like those can definitely stay. And then we have a couple mason jars that Tom likes to drink out of. More supplements. You can actually only take so many supplements in any given day, right? So those can stay. And then we had gotten these mugs from Casa Shalom too. And so these are very nice. Mine's being washed right now. So I wanna keep these. We don't need as many of these. I don't drink from these anymore. I've been just using those new glasses we have. So I'm gonna put a couple down in the basement. So I'm gonna keep two out. Are there any others? I think there might be some in the dishwasher. I'm gonna check. I'm just gonna keep two of the mason jars out for Tom to drink from. These two mugs, they don't really fit on here as well because they have a bigger top, so they're okay just being next to it. Okay, so Target actually has a really nice line of bins now that are not that expensive. So this one was $5, which, I mean, all the acrylic bins that I've had that are like the good quality ones have lasted like, I mean, the ones in our bathroom are 5 years old and they don't look worn. They've held up really well. I really like them. And so I'm okay spending a little bit of money on containers and bins and stuff now. I am gonna start by putting in the supplements that we for sure use every day. And then anything extra, I have an overflow bin in our extra bedroom in the wardrobe in there. All right, so there we go. That looks so much better. It's really easy to grab it in and out if we want to. Look how nice all of that looks. This had really been stressing me out a lot when I'd open it. I'm like, it's such a mess, but I don't know what to do with it. And so this feels so much better. So I just have a couple things here that I'm gonna put in the overflow. But again, we weren't taking these. It didn't matter. Like, them being here wasn't making us take these. So they can go in the overflow bin in the extra bedroom and wait their turn. It'll be fine. Okay, so we are done with this. Technically we could go up another shelf. That one is so easy. I won't bore you with that one, but I'll do it in my own time because it'll make me feel good and this whole cabinet's gonna feel so good. Okay, that is awesome. I think now we're gonna move down. I have this drawer here where we keep all of our extra like tech cords, charging cords and that kind of thing. I have a new organizer. I'm gonna get your opinion. I don't know if it's actually gonna be a good solution for this drawer or not, so let's take a look at that. Now, I was kind of jumping in here to the more hidden things like the drawers and the cabinets, but another thing I wanna encourage you if you're currently decluttering your kitchen is to work to clear off your counters. So again, I've had our counters almost completely cleared off for 8 years now, and it works so well, and I love it so much. Our kitchen is small, so I don't feel like I need like a lot of decor or other things. In fact, I try to keep it up off the counters in like the open shelves and things. things. And really every day, the only thing that lives on our counter is our coffee pot. But if you have not tried this out, I would encourage you to just try it. And there's a few products that have made this a little bit easier. So actually, why don't I show you a couple of these? So some of the things that people have difficulty moving off of their counters is the knife block. And so I love this knife block that goes into the drawer. We've had it for a couple of years now. It works so well. It actually holds a lot of knives. You can do another layer up here, but we don't have that many knives. This has been great. I know it depends on kind of the ages of your kids. And then utensil caddies can also be another thing. So we keep ours in the drawer, and then I have these bamboo drawer dividers to keep them a little bit more organized. We don't use paper towels, but we keep our napkins in a holder like this, again, in the drawer. And then if we look way over here, my KitchenAid stand mixer is right down there. And then our other appliances are in our pantry cabinet right over here. I got to do a live with Cass recently, and she says unless you use it every single day, it does not get to sit out on your counter. So that's why our coffee maker does. We also use the toaster every day, but I tuck it down into a cabinet because it's light, it's easy to put away, and I just really like having our counters cleared off now. Okay, so here is our, like, I don't know, tech drawer. It's where we keep like all of the charging cables and everything like that. And I had made this over, I don't even know when, a little while back. And basically I like put shelf liner in it and then put these 3 baskets. And they have worked pretty well. I know if it starts to get like too full or you can't close it easily, like it's time to go through the cords. I just hadn't known if there was maybe a better solution for tech cords. And I had seen, I don't know, someone on YouTube was doing an Amazon organizing video, and they showed this container, which has a lid, and then it has all these spots, and it even comes with these like little rubber things to tie up your cords. And so ideally you could take a cord and, oh, well, that's a big one. That's not gonna fit. I don't even have any wrapped up cords. Ideally, you could wrap up your cords and then each one would have a little slot, right? Now, even as I'm saying this now, I'm like, that is such wishful thinking that anyone in my family would wrap a cord back up when they're done and put the little plastic, you know, or the little rubber thing on it, and then it would stay neat and tidy in here, right? Like, what was I thinking? Okay. This container is also just a little flimsier than I had hoped. And so I think if this was like a long-term storage thing, like I am gonna store these extra cords, I only use them once in a while, or you have someone in your home that really likes to be organized and is very good at maintaining it, I think this could be good. I don't think it's the right solution now that I see it for us. So I think I'm gonna return this. I think probably these 3 bins is the best bet. For right now, it's just that it still needs to be gone through every once in a while. So why don't we take a pass through this, see what we can get rid of, and see if we can get it to function just a little bit better. Okay, so generally when it comes to like charging cables, I like to sort them by the end. So like what kind of device is it for? So this is actually for like the boys' Gab Watch. So that's kind of its own type of charging. But then you'll notice, right, the iPhone end, and then you also have this more like round end, more for like Android devices. Our internet boxes charge with that. Okay, so I decided this back basket had some cords that are like still rolled up and had not been accessed. So for me, I'm deciding that those had been quarantined or time will tell told, and I'm just gonna let all of these go because we sometimes get extra cords from like old remote control cards or different things like that, and so this stuff all I'm gonna just let go. Like this, I have no idea what that end is for. I need to do a better job with labeling them. Black & Decker. It's still wrapped up from the last time I went through this, I put rubber bands on cords, so it's very telling which ones have not been used. I'm gonna put this in the back to kind of like time will tell it again. And then we have a few old cell phones. I think we're keeping them for a reason. I'm just gonna put them, but I don't need my old phone case, so I'm gonna throw that away. These are like an old set of generic AirPods that we don't need those anymore. So I'm gonna throw that away. And then if we get rid of those, we actually don't have that many more cords. to put back in here. So I'm just gonna wrap these up nicely, and I think we're actually gonna be in pretty good shape. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it looks so much better than it did. It's really easy to open and close and to see what everyone uses on a regular basis in here. So I think it's better. I don't know that there is a perfect solution for an area like this, and so that's totally okay. Okay, so we got that space done. Now here's the problem, right? As we finish up for our last day of the week here, there's just stuff now that I've pulled out and everything that I need to deal with. And then also, I might have, if you saw my thrift with me video, I might have went back and got the cake stand, and I want to find a place for that too. So that's what we're gonna do here today. Okay, well, let's start with the fun part, and then we'll get everything tidied up and cleaned up here. So I've had this stack of white dishes on our shelves. The thought was that if we had extra people over, then we could pull it down, but sometimes they get pulled down when people don't want to run the dishwasher or do the dishes. So I've thought about removing those for a while, but I didn't know what I would put in that spot. But now I think I know. I actually want to put this new cake stand there because if we move back, and we look up, I have two other cake stands on there now. So my thought was that it could actually go on the bottom shelf. I'll show you here what I'm thinking. All right, so, and then we'll talk about butter dishes too. Okay, so my thought was these dishes come off. Oh man, they're actually really heavy. And then my little basket here moves over. And then we put the cake stand here. Let's see how that looks. Okay. See? Hey, I think that might kind of work. I kind of like how it showcases, it's really dark over there now. I kind of like how it kind of showcases all of my cake stands, which are important to me and I really like. The transparency of this one maybe isn't quite right, but maybe it's okay. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now and see kind of like how that grows on me. So I think it'll work. And it's like, it makes it so much easier just to store them there and not have to bring them like up and down from the basement or anything like that. Oh, now the lighting's a little better. Now it looks a little better, right? But we do have this stuff here now that I need to clean up. Okay, let's see what to do with these dishes. I don't like these dishes. I got them when we first became minimalist. They're from IKEA. They're white. Can you see all the like scratches in them? And they're heavy. And so Adeline's over here. Adeline, are you okay if we just donate these dishes and get rid of them? Okay, so I'm gonna donate these. It's like an end of an era here with those. I have a donation pile going over here. And then, like I said, this I'm gonna send back to Amazon. And so I need to kind of like put it back in the box. And then Wednesdays are my errand day when the kids are at co-op. So I'm gonna put this in my returns spot so that this can go back. And then the tea caddy, this I'm actually gonna put in this cabinet down here next week. I'm gonna make a pass through this cabinet. It just needs, I don't know, a little maintenance. And so we're gonna go through that. And then I just have these extra cords that that I wanted to ask the kids about. So I'm gonna ask them about that. And then I also have over here, so the dishes, these dishes we're keeping, these need to go down to the basement. And then these supplements just need to go to the overflow. These were donations. I'm really glad you're here right now to hold me accountable, because this is the kind of stuff, like finishing it is where I sometimes lose steam and don't do a good job with. And another thing I had mentioned in that video with Cass is that if you look at a restaurant kitchen or like a commercial kitchen, they only have the stuff that they're using for the current menu, for their current season, for their current offerings, for the types of cooking that they do day in and day out. So they don't have a lot of clutter around and they don't try to keep stuff for someday, right? And the other thing that I noticed about it is how easy they are to keep clean. I've worked in a couple restaurants and the back kitchen area is meant to be cleaned very quickly. By the end of the night, when everyone's done cooking and the restaurant has emptied out, everyone wants to be able to clean it up very fast. So everything gets tucked away. It's very easy to wipe down. And so that's how I want my kitchen to operate as well. Otherwise, it does not get cleaned. I don't cook in it and I don't like it. It's just always this thing hanging over my head. And so as we have simplified our kitchen and as I have decluttered anything that's not serving us in this current season of life, I actually really enjoy cleaning up our kitchen at the end of the night. I don't know, it's very rewarding to go to bed with it pretty clean. It's not always like perfectly clean, but to go to bed with it clean, to wake up in the morning and to start fresh and not have yesterday's clutter and dirty dishes carrying over. And again, remember, I'm a very messy person. Like, this does not come naturally to me, but by so significantly decluttering, it has made it so easy to take care of and to be able to achieve this. The beginning of the week here, I wanna focus on the under sink cabinet. And it just needs a good declutter, but I also have been wanting to put new contact paper in, and I also wanted to paint the inside of it white because it just feels kind of grody underneath there. And so I thought if we could paint it, then it would feel cleaner and brighter under there and not so gross. But then I started going back and forth because I'm like, Tom put in this water filtration system, which is great. I'm very glad for. We just got it at Menards, our home improvement store. So I don't even know, like I can link to it, but I don't know how universal it is, but it works great. But it makes it much more complicated down there and harder to get in to like paint and do different things. So then I was at Walmart and they had plain white contact paper. And I was like, well, why don't we just use contact paper then? Like, surely that will be easier, right? Like you just cut it and you stick it on and it's instantly white. Because the other problem with painting white is that it usually takes a lot of coats, right? So I pulled everything out of the cabinet and started putting this in. And then I remembered what a pain contact paper actually is and how it can actually be really difficult to work with, especially when you have like different things to navigate around and if you have to make like cuts and stuff to get it in there. And so my hope was that this would be a like 5, maybe 10-minute project one day and then we would move on, right? And it quickly became apparent that it was actually gonna take a lot longer than that. So it's good that we don't know these things going into it. But another thing I wanted to mention was the idea of motivation. So as I've learned more about motivation, it's actually quite complex. And I really like what Mel Robbins says is that we can't rely on motivation because one second it's here and then the next it's gone. And it's really fascinating to learn about like the different hormones involved with motivation. Dopamine is certainly like a key player in it. But how if we don't have kind of like regular, standard, steady levels of dopamine, then often we don't feel a lot of natural motivation, right? And we go through different seasons. Some are worse than others, but we have to then come up with ways to manufacture motivation, right? And so body doubling is still, I think, especially hearing from you all too, one of the most effective ways to create motivation. And so my hope is on these daily videos, or again, we will put all the videos together into one video on Saturday, is that while I'm working, that you will be working alongside me too. Whether you're just tidying up your kitchen or another space, folding laundry, or actually tackling like your functional makeover, there is something powerful about doing it together. And so that really is my hope, because like it's very difficult when you know the things you need to do and that you want to get done. And when we don't get them done day after day, we get so hard on ourselves. And so I know that, right? And so that's where my hope really is, that, you know, we're taking 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. This ended up being like 20 minutes. I don't know, way too long to be spending on contact paper. I think I actually should have painted it. I think it would have been easier. But we're taking these short chunks of time. And it is helpful, if possible, to focus in on one area that you can complete. So start to finish. So one drawer or a half of a drawer or one shelf. And that completion actually does trigger a dopamine release, which then helps us to feel more motivation and create momentum, which momentum is even more powerful than motivation, right? And so if we can fully complete a task, which again, I think what was frustrating me about this was because it was taking so long and I didn't have a ton of time when I was working on it, that then I felt like, oh, I'm so frustrated that I'm not gonna get this portion of it done right now, right? So anyways, but if we can complete tasks, then that actually does make us feel a lot better about ourselves and about what we're doing, and much more likely to try and do it again the next day. So anyways, all that to say, I do hope you find the daily videos helpful, and if possible, if we can work together, I think that's the most effective thing. Okay, so this is how far I got for today. And I still want to put different contact paper down in the bottom of the cabinet. And so that I'm gonna tackle tomorrow. I kind of went back and forth. The stuff that's in there isn't in bad shape, but I think I'm gonna go over it and go over the bottom too tomorrow. So stay tuned, it's gonna be super awesome. We are continuing to work on this cabinet underneath the sink. So yesterday, it was so exciting how much we got done. We got a good portion of the white contact paper around the outside of this cabinet. Again, I'm just doing it because I want it to look nicer and brighter and feel cleaner under there because it feels kind of gross. I don't think it totally comes across in video, but it's just, when we redid the kitchen, we left the base cabinets and Tom put new door fronts on them. But then the uppers were new and the island was new, but these are vintage cabinets from I don't even know when. So, you know, and especially under the sink where it sometimes get wet and all that, you know. Anyways, you know, I don't have to keep going on it. So anyways, I had this great idea to put in contact paper, right? So I got most of the white up, and then today my goal is to get the bottom covered and then also patch in some more of the white. Like I was just realizing, like, to try and do a big sheet across the back was like so hard. So the rest of it is just gonna get patched in with little pieces because ultimately I'm putting bins in here. Hey Corbin, will you bring me the 2 bins that are on the stools there? I didn't show these yesterday, but I did get a couple new bins. Thanks, buddy. And then can you hand me one of those white bins too? Yes, awesome. Oh. Thank you. Okay, so I had these dollar store bins. I like them. They have lasted a long time. They do break when you put heavy stuff in. And the only other thing I don't like is because the sides are angled, stuff doesn't stay standing up nice. Like if you slide it out, everything kind of tips around. Not huge problems, but again, it's just enough to just kind of annoy me. So I got these bins from Walmart. These like opaque ones are cheaper than the actual like acrylic ones. These were $5 each, and it's a good size bin. It's bigger than those, so I got 2 to put underneath here, and it has the straight sides so stuff doesn't tip over when you're moving it around. So I have 2 of these that I would like to put in, but first I did want to get all of the contact paper down. I do realize too, it's actually easier when you're putting contact paper down, if you want to know, to use the scissors to cut it to roughly to the right shape, but then to use an actual like razor blade to get around all of like the nooks and crannies and pipes and water lines and all of that kind of stuff. So that worked better for me. And then again, I was just trying to use like smaller pieces to make it not like just to have smaller pieces to work with, obviously. And so that was working out pretty well. And then I just decided just to go over the old contact paper. I don't know, there just didn't really seem right. Like it just was less see-through then, and I just think it looks nicer. So anyways, that was my logic behind that, in case you were wondering. So my goal for today is to get all the contact paper done. So the bottom done, and then the back, get the rest of the white in and all of that. Huge pain in the butt. I probably have like 45 minutes into this, which is way longer than I was expecting, but it does feel much cleaner and nicer down here now. Okay, so much lighter, brighter, cleaner feeling under there. Now I'm just trying to decide, when we painted the cabinets, we didn't, so I'm gonna move this over here. We didn't paint like the sides here. We did the bottom, I guess, but Like this didn't get painted. There's some touch up that needs here. So I'm trying to decide if I should get out the blue paint and just touch this up quick or just let it be good enough. Like really the island could use some touching up too. And so I'm kind of thinking that I'll probably pull it out because touch-up paint never takes as long as like you think it's gonna, but it does make a big difference. And so I think I'll probably pull that out for tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll also sort out everything that's in these white bins and get them into these bins and get everything fitting down here nicely. And then, whoops. And then I think we'll be in pretty good shape. I was thinking this would be like a 1-day project and now it's turned into like a 3-day, but it's fine, right? It's how it goes. And it's gonna feel really good when it's done. So it is what it is. I have some helpers that, oops, we can't see you, Gage. Do you guys wanna help me put everything back and kind of sort out the cleaning supplies?
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta take the stickers off of these bins. Oh, it says they're stackable too.
Oh yeah, because
oh, there's like a lip on it. Here, Corbin. Yeah. Oh yeah, they do stack. If you're looking for stackable bins, these ones do. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we have 3 white bins like this, and we wanna just keep the stuff that fits in these 2 guys, okay?
Okay.
So can you put this in there too, Corbin?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just gonna put in the stuff we like for sure use all the time first. And like this one, we normally put like the dish soap in, any kind of like dish cleaners. And then that one's more like the other cleaners. So, yep, dish soap we'll put in there. Dish soap we'll put in here. And then do you see the power wash, the Dawn power wash in one of those? You can bring those down too, Gage. And then I'm gonna use these bins in our camper because I really like them in there. All right, so this I really like, the leather CPR. This iron out I have not used, so I'm gonna set that off to the side along with the Easy Off oven cleaner. I got them to test out on a like clean with me video and I just haven't, I like the pink stuff works really well in our oven, so I haven't felt like I've needed it. Will you put this in that bin, Corbin? Yeah. All right, so this one's empty. All right, thank you. I don't know, like, do we know why this isn't here? This is a drop cloth. All right, that's gonna go to the basement. This glass cleaner too, I don't know if we'll use this. Let's keep that to the side. Okay, the pink stuff cleaner we like, so keep that in there, and the pink stuff, yep, like that, we like. One all-purpose cleaner, put that in there. And then I have a couple carpet cleaners, but I really like the new one that I got, the Folex, and that is in the other room. I'm gonna go grab that, because I'd gotten these like new cleaning products to test in that last Clean With Me video, and some of them I like, so I am like swapping out old stuff. And then we really like the Awesome cleaner just from the dollar store. This is especially good for like car interior and that kind of stuff. I mean, the pink stuff cleaner would probably work too, but this works well, so we'll keep this. And then that can go in that basket on that hangs on the door. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Norwex cleaning paste we like, but now that we use the pink stuff, I think the pink stuff is easier to use. So I'm gonna let this one go too. And then
So there's some stuff in?
I guess we don't have any other glass cleaners, so that's fine. Wow. Our bins are like not very full at all, which is totally fine by me. I also there was still Scotchgard in here from when we did like the blue chairs that used to be in here, but I don't use this anymore, so I'm gonna let this go too. So all of these cleaners I'm not putting back down here, and then I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab the Folex. We're gonna put that down here, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so if you saw my Clean With Me video a little while back, this is a carpet and upholstery cleaner that Catherine from Do It On a Dime had recommended. I think others have too. And this worked really well. So I had 2 other like carpet cleaners in here, and so I'm letting those go. Yep, and then we're just gonna keep this one. So we'll put that in there, Corbin. And then the only other thing, we had 2 fire extinguishers, because the last time when they did our recertification for foster care, they said this one wasn't big enough, that we had to have this one, which is huge. I don't know if you can tell. So we'll keep this. We're gonna put this in the hall closet. I just don't want it down here. And then we'll keep the little one in here. So we put it back over there where it was. There you go. Yeah, You guys know where it is now if you need it? Okay. All right.
You don't. You just hold the pin and then that one.
Okay. And then Gagey, will you grab the garbage bags and the dish drops? All right. Can you tuck these over here for me? Thank you. Awesome. All right. Well, wow, this feels really good, doesn't it, Corbin?
Yeah.
You like how it feels now?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for helping.
Yep.
And then tomorrow we're gonna move on. We're gonna go through this corner cabinet here, and then we'll keep moving through the kitchen.
I can really fit in that corner cabinet.
You
so
can
big.
fit in there.
It's
Yeah.
big. It goes all the way up to that back wall.
It does. All right.
Yeah,
Good to know. And again, I do want you to know, I understand there can be some really difficult decisions in our kitchen, and there can be a lot of guilt on money we spent on appliances and gadgets, and even a lot of fantasy self items, things we thought like, well, I used to do this type of cooking, I want to do it again, but maybe I don't have the energy or the physical ability. And so it can be difficult to move some of that stuff out. It's grieving, right? And so again, we're just like, I'm just trying to declutter. Like, I don't want to be faced with all of this, right? And so I do understand, and it does take work, and it can take a fair amount of emotional energy too. But I just want to encourage you to push through, because I'm just like, I just keep saying the same thing over again. It just makes your kitchen so much easier when you only have the stuff in there that you're using every single day. Something less glamorous probably is making a pass through this corner cabinet. Corner cabinets suck. Like, there's not great ways to organize them. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you have fancy cabinets, there's some really cool like pull-out things now. We're not that fancy. So I'll show you the next best thing I've been able to come up with this, and then we're just gonna do a quick declutter. I need to make my tea organizer fit down here, because I had shown how I took this out of this drawer up here, but it's just been sitting here. That's not where it can actually live, right? All right, so what does live down here is our bread maker, and we still use it, or we're planning to use it again. We've kind of taken a break from making sourdough bread to give gluten a break. So what I'm thinking is I actually want to rearrange so that this isn't front and center, and this basket of stuff is easier to get to, because this is what we actually use more. This should be in the basket. All right, and then one of the best ways I've found to organize this type of cabinet, outside of getting those like fancy things that pull out and stuff, is this style of a bin. All right, so this is a lid for the Instant Pot, our smaller Instant Pot, which I actually put in the basement to quarantine, time will tell. So this could go down there with that. I don't need that up here. And this is for a bowl that's not down there. So that stuff doesn't need to be down there. Anyways, I digress. This size bin actually works really well. This is like 11 inches by 11 inches by 11 inches. So this is from Target, and I think they still have these there. So this actually works really well. And inside of it then, we have like our different oils, like cooking oil, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, and that kind of stuff. There are a couple coffee pods that fell in here. This is actually my favorite kind right now, the cinnamon roll. I recommend that. So that's cool. Glad I found those. Okay. So this stuff is all good. Actually, I don't really in here. The only other thing I have in here is like an extra water pitcher. Otherwise, I keep it pretty pared down, because these aren't like, they're just hard to organize. This is maybe gonna be a really unexciting video today. I'm sorry. I hope if nothing else, we can just be body doubling and then you're getting something done. I'm gonna say nothing interesting or entertaining, I don't think. I'm just looking at the contents and thinking there's nothing interesting going on in here. This is our toaster. I like having it in a little bin. That works really well to take it in and out and not get crumbs everywhere. So that's been working well. And then the only thing else in here is a bunch of things of coffee. When we had gone down to Florida with Dinah and Princeton, like everyone got K-Pods, and we ended up with like all of these this coffee, which is fine, and they fit down here just fine. And then I just have a bin with extra coffee stuff. So, all right, so, well, yeah, we need to fit the tea thing down here. I think we can just put it underneath the coffee. This I want to put in here. Ooh, what kind is that? Butter toffee. Okay, I'm gonna fill that one. All right, put this back. And then I'm just gonna put the bread maker further in, put this bin of oils here. And that's that. So definitely a little more functional now, but again, not super glamorous. I am glad to know though that this organization that I had put in place actually has been working well. In the past, I would set like oil and stuff down here and it would tip over and it was kind of a mess. So this bin has worked really well to contain things and to be able to like pull the whole thing out and see what's back there. So so that does work really well. If I didn't have the bread maker here, we could even fit another one of these to put stuff inside, so at least it's not getting lost at the back of the cabinet. So I do like how that functions. Yeah, there we go. All right, well, thanks for sticking with me today. I actually got some new dish towels. I think we'll go through like towels and microfiber cloths and that kind of stuff tomorrow because I don't know, it's a little more fun. I guess it's not a ton more fun, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna move to our next section in the kitchen. We're gonna go through these drawers right here today. Okay, so we have 4 drawers here. The top ones have dish towels and dishcloths. So our friend Cindy from our group sent these, which it's a 2-pack. I think one must be in the laundry. Aren't they so pretty? And they match perfectly. They're actually Fiesta Wear brand, which I just think is so fun too. So when she sent this, she's like, I had seen some of your old nasty dish towels, right? So she sent these and I'm like, oh, these are so beautiful compared to these. So then I was like, well, I'm not gonna have all these because these are just way too pretty. So I will admit these are like our good dish towels now to put on the handle to look nice. But I did find these at Walmart and they were only $1.99 a piece, and they're the type that I like. Like they're just a really nice absorbent cotton terry cloth texture. Like they just really work well for drying dishes, right? But they're $1.99. But actually $1.90 is pretty cheap because can you get anything for $1.99 anymore these days? So I got 6 of them. 6? Yeah, so I got 6 of them. And we are gonna get rid of these because I'm not just doing it just to get rid of things. This one, not absorbent, does not work well. Very old. This is from our wedding, so it'll be 15 years in August. This wasn't even meant to be a dish towel. This is like a napkin, like a fabric napkin. Also not at all absorbent, right? This one I had got from Free when I placed an order with, oh, what's that where you get cleaning products? I don't know. Also not absorbent. Like you can't have dish towels that just smear the water around the dishes. But I have just been putting up with it because I don't know why, because I wasn't gonna go spend $1.99 on new dish towels. This one I actually like. So this one I might just put in my kitchen bin to see if we miss it. And then this is actually a washcloth for the bathroom and shouldn't even be in here. Okay. And then these are our dishcloths. I know some of you had gotten these off Amazon, that's where I got these, and said they kind of disintegrated or fell apart. I am so sorry because we've had these for like 3 years and I still love them. So that made me very sad to hear. So we're gonna have our pretty towels in here and then these nice blue ones. I actually have to run them through the wash. I'm gonna tell you, I've had these for a few weeks and I've been hesitant to take off the tags and run them through the wash quick because I think they're gonna get abused and they look so nice and clean and then they're gonna get like pasta sauce on them and all that, but I have to be like, no, Dawn, just use the good towels, right? So we're gonna let these go. I was gonna like give them to Tom for rags or something. I'm just gonna throw them away because none of these 3 things are absorbent. No one needs those. And then we're gonna put all these in here after I wash them. I'm just putting this in here now to see how pretty it's gonna look. So anyways, just kidding, they're not folded. But everything's gonna match, it's gonna look very nice. Okay. Next drawer, this is where we keep our plastic bags. It's a little unconventional, I know. But actually, my grandma is moving just in town and my mom is going to help her pack. And so plastic bags make great for when you're packing, right? Stuffing in material. So I'm gonna bag up a bunch of these. Oh my. Wow. You can fit a lot of plastic bags in a drawer. We don't even hardly use them anymore for hardly much of anything, but all right, I think that will still be plenty. And then this drawer is microfiber cloths. I got a lot because on a Clean With Me video, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I was testing different ones. Like, can you just get the Amazon ones or is Norwex really better? And then I learned that microfiber is not even good for the planet because of the plastic stuff it puts into the water. And then I'm like, oh no, I have all these microfiber cloths. So I'm just gonna use up what we have. I don't really feel a need to pare this down because they all fit in here very comfortably. Like it's not even full at the back of the drawer. What is that, a receipt? Okay, anyways. So I'm kind of fine with this whole situation. So I'm gonna leave that. And then the bottom drawer, we put in, these are our rice socks. You put rice in a sock and then you can heat it up. It's like a heating pad thing. Anyways, that's where they live. And then these are all paper bags. I might just pare it down a couple because they can use paper bags for packing too. I'll keep the ones with handles because those are nice, right? Anyways, I just keep what comfortably fits in there. That's been working. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so that is all for today. Not super exciting, but it does really feel good to just be making a pass through and also recognizing some things I've put in place that actually do work. So, or just areas where I'm like, yeah, we just let the drawer be the limit. We keep what comfortably fits and then, you know, let some plastic bags go once in a while and all that. So I'm really grateful for that. I do feel like a lot of the changes we've made in the kitchen have stuck and they work well. And so that feels really good. And this drawer, you've seen me declutter it multiple times. And I was getting kind of frustrated with myself until I realized that it's probably been a year since we've gone through it again. And so it's okay. Like we have a small kitchen, it gets used a lot. So that just happens. And they have some new organizing bins at Target, so I grabbed a few. I don't know if they're gonna work for this space or not, but the main problem has been that Adeline really enjoys to bake. She gets new baking things, and then they especially do not fit in this drawer. So when we had gone to IKEA earlier this year to get organizing stuff, I got 2 of these bins, and I kind of had them left over after I did the bathrooms. And so I was like, hey, Adeline, what if we put your baking stuff in these, and then it doesn't have to live in the kitchen because like I really only want stuff in here that we use all of the time, right? And so she was on board with that, but it didn't like get fully like everything out of here. So today I want to move everything out that is baking related because I think the bottom one, oh yeah, the bottom one is still completely empty. So she has plenty of space for this. I really like this rice container. It was just off Amazon. It's too tall for this though, so I think we might have to find a different solution for that. I do like having the mixing bowls and strainer here. That has worked really well. This lid's not supposed to be down here. Okay, so like these, we're gonna move out. And then like this is what happens is like baking ingredients then just end up floating around. So we don't want that. This is empty, so we'll put that in the garbage. Some of the stuff I'm just gonna throw away. It's a bummer, but you can't manage everything, right? Lid. Ugh. Just a lot of random stuff. We got like the fancy rice because Diana was like, the rice makes a huge difference, right? So I get fancy rice, we never use it, and now it's been down here for like at least a couple years. So with this kind of stuff, I like to do like use it or lose it. So I'll take it out and put it on the counter and be like, hey, we need to use that up this week. Otherwise it's gone. It's getting donated or thrown away. I don't like throwing away perfectly good food, but it wasn't getting used, right? Like it was telling us that. So, all right. And then this is all baking stuff that can go out of here. So I'm excited to take that out. Okay, wow, this feels so much better. It's amazing how taking the baking stuff out and then even just that like random package of rice, what a huge difference this makes in here. And I feel like we can make the rice container work then. So I actually only ended up using 2 new containers. These are, they were 2 for $3 at Target, so not bad. And I think that'll actually fit pretty well there. But you know, ideally, I only like any of our drawers to be like half full, or cabinets or anything, because it's just too hard to get stuff in and out and you forget what you have. I mean, I didn't realize we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 containers of frosting because they were just floating around and buried and not all together, right? And so now it's very easy to see like the baking supplies we have and the frosting and rice, and these containers fit here really well. So this feels really good. Again, we're moving some of the baking stuff out, so it's not super ideal that it's not in the kitchen, but it's very neatly contained. And I mean, realistically, what, Adeline bakes once a week, maybe? So for her to go into these bins in an adjacent room and grab what she needs, really not a big deal. And I like how they are containers, so she can only keep what fits inside. I think that'll be helpful as well. All right, it's good to see you today. We are gonna attack the junk drawer. Now, I've heard it said that when it's organized, it's a utility drawer, but ours has turned from utility back into junk drawer, so we're gonna make a pass through it today. All right, so I have a love-hate relationship with this drawer. I really like the baggie organizer. I don't like these containers here and how everything fits around here. The last time I organized it, these were just leftover containers that we had, and so I used them, but I just think they're kind of squished in here, and I've just never thought they look good, but I wasn't gonna spend the money or take the time to replace them. But now we have extra containers from when we did the coffee and tea drawer, so I'm wondering if we could make these work, and they would just look a little bit neater because they're clear. I know, things that don't actually matter, but I don't know. It just has always bugged me. So I'm gonna pull these out and we'll see. The other nice thing about these containers is that it's very easy to pull stuff out and just to like stand over the garbage can and go through them really quickly. All right, so I'm thinking if we do something maybe like this. Oh, that actually fits neatly. Can't really see very well. Oh, you can't see because they're clear. I guess you can see. That's kind of funny. Okay, maybe we'll do these and this. It doesn't fit all the way tight against the back of the drawer, but these containers come with the little rubber things to go on the bottom, so I don't think they'll slide around. So this actually looks a lot better, and then I could still use these 2 containers in the back of the drawer. So then these can go in here and we'll be good to go. All right, I think I like how that looks, so let's transfer stuff over. And I'm showing the baggie organizer here. I love that thing so much. Like, I wouldn't have thought that it would, I don't really get into organization a ton, so I wasn't sure if I would like really like it that much. I love it. I love that there's not the random boxes in there anymore, and it's just very easy to see the different sizes. And so to me, that was a very worthwhile investment, just so you know. Adeline's trying to start dinner. I'm sorry, I'm almost done. But I would love to know, how is your functional makeover going? Are there any areas that are hanging you up? Are you feeling at all discouraged? Do you need a little encouragement? Do you want us to celebrate your wins with you? We are here to support you and to cheer you on and to hold you accountable, and excited to see your progress as well. And we didn't have to reorganize the spices this time around. I really like the round Lazy Susan thing that I got, but in that video, the last time I organized the kitchen, I had showed the spicy shelf. It's like as seen on TV, right? And I generally avoid things that are as seen on TV because I'm like, fool me once, right? But so many of you have said that you really like the spicy shelf. So if you have your spices in a like cabinet and haven't like moved them to a drawer or something like that, because so many said they liked it, you might like it as well. So I'll link to that down below. There's one last drawer here in the kitchen that I just wanted to make a quick pass through. Actually, this drawer functions really well, but it just needs, it just gets like crummy and all of that and just still needs to be gone through like at least once a year. So let's go through this together. I'll tell you what works, what I really like in here, and maybe what could be improved on. Okay, so let me tell you first what I really like in here. I really like this drawer style knife organizer. I also like these bamboo, they're like stretchy, I don't know, spring-loaded dividers. These have worked very well. And so I do like these. So I don't know why, we use napkins, not paper towels. That's how I grew up, I think. And so I have a flat napkin holder that I got a really long time ago that I still like. And then if we have people over, I'll just pull it up and put it on the counter. So that works well. These two containers are probably the only thing that doesn't function super well, just because they don't fit tight in here and then they slide around. But overall, that's not so bad, right? I'm gonna pull everything out, and then as I pull stuff out, I'm gonna evaluate if I still want it in here or not, make sure everything in here is stuff that we're using, and then we'll clean it out real quick and put everything back together. Okay, so that looks and feels so much better. It's just nice and clean now. I did laugh when I saw the spatula that like clearly came out of the dishwasher dirty, but it's fine. It's just gonna get used again. So a few things that I'm moving out of here. We don't have two hand mixers, so I don't know why we have two sets of these things. So I'm gonna figure out which set fits it and get rid of the other one and then just store it with it on. And then we had a couple extra straws. I have no idea what these are for. I'm just gonna throw those away. We don't need them. And then like a muddler. I used to like muddle like mint and stuff into my soda water. I'm not that fancy anymore. I haven't used this. The kids would actually use it for Play-Doh. So I'm gonna put this in my kitchen bin, along with, we had some extra accessories for the bread maker. And I don't know if we would need these. And so I'm gonna put them in a baggie, label it bread maker, put it in my kitchen bin, and then if after a while I don't ever use them, then that will just get discarded as well. But otherwise, yeah, it just feels better, right? When you get all the crumbs and everything out. So that feels really good. So again, I did this over the course of a month, and some might think like a month's kind of a long time to like do a little bit of decluttering and organization in your kitchen, right? But if you have limited time or energy, or you suffer from decision fatigue, you get overwhelmed by decluttering, a month isn't actually that long, right? Because it took the month of April, but now here we are getting to enjoy it day after day, week after week, month after month. So these little bits of time really do add up to huge changes in your house too. All right, so that's all we'll tackle for today, but we have been living with all of these changes now for multiple weeks, and I love them all. It has made a big difference in how our kitchen feels and functions, and I really appreciate that a lot. So encouragement to keep going, keep working to declutter your kitchen. It really is a gift that keeps on giving. All right, well, I'll link to a couple other kitchen organization videos if that is inspiring to you. But I love you. I hope you have a really good day, and I'll see you again soon.